Parshas Toldos. This is a shmuz adapted from the shmuzin of Moran Hagoyin, Reb Chaim Shmulevich, Zeichat Tzaddik L'Vrocha. It says in the Torah, before Yitzchak Avinu gave the brachas to Yaakov Avinu, it says in the Torah, Vayorach Esreach Begodov. He smelled the smell of his clothes. And Rashi says, Melamed shenichnas imoy reach Gan Eden, that they rented within him the smell of Gan Eden. Apparently, the way some of the Mefarshim explain, the food that he ate and the smell of the garments caused him simcha, and he attained Ruach HaKodesh at that time. And with the Ruach HaKodesh, he gave the brachas to Yaakov Avinu. But the pasuk says, "Vayorach esreach begodav." He smelled the smell of his garments. Yitzchak Avinu smelled the smell of the garments he was wearing, that Yaakov Avinu was wearing. That's the simple. Chazal, with their incredible perception, see another thing happening here. And they somehow, instead of saying he smelled the smell of begodov, of his clothes, but he foresaw the foresaw and was inspired to see the traitors of Klal Yisrael, Boigdov, Vayorach Esreach Boigdov, Chazal see, the pasuk saying that Yaakov Avinu foresaw, that Yitzchak Avinu foresaw with Ruach HaKodesh the future of Klal Yisrael, of the people of Klal Yisrael. Some of them will be traitors and sinners who would eventually do tshuva. And Chazal explain in graphic detail, Kegoin Yosef Meshita v'yokum ish tzruros. Yosef Meshita was a Jew that was a sinner, and Yokum ish tzruros, who was also a Jew that was a sinner. And Yitzchak Avinu, before bestowing the brachas upon Yaakov Avinu, was inspired with the tshuva of the traitors of Klal Yisrael. And two of those traitors are mentioned in Chazal. We'll leave the second traitor, Yokum ish tzruros, bli neder, for another occasion. And meanwhile, we will devote today's shmuz to Yosef Meshita. I'll first read the Chazal as it says, and then we'll try to analyze it. Chazal tell us that Bishor Shebikshu Seinim l'hikones laharabayas. When the enemies of Klal Yisrael wanted to enter the Beis HaMikdash and destroy it, Amru, I'm just reading it verbatim first, and then we'll try to analyze it. They said, Yikones mibnei Yisrael tchila. They said, let's get a Jew to enter first. Even they were afraid. Even they were afraid, the Sainim shel Klal Yisrael, but they were afraid to enter the Harabayas, and to go into the Beis HaMikdash. And they said, let's send a Jew in first. So they said to Yosef Meshita, Hikones, you go in first. Umashat hamoitzi shelachahu. Whatever you take out is yours. Nichnas, Yosef Meshita entered, v'haitzi menorah shel Zohav, and took out the golden menorah from the Beis HaMikdash. He assumed that he's going to be able to keep it. Amrulai, but they were more able than him. Ein darkei shel hedyot l'hishtamesh b'zu. It's not proper for a simple person to use this holy menorah. The Goyim was saying this. So he kones, you can't have the menorah. He kones pam shnia, go in a second time. And whatever you take out, mashat hamoitzi shelachahi, it's yours. V'loi kibel olav, Yosef Meshita did not want to accept this. Omar, and he said, Dayai shehichasti ezbeiri pam achas. It's enough that I caused anger to my Creator one time by going in to the Beis HaMikdash. Ele she'achisenu pam shnia, to go make Hashem angry a second time. Even this traitor, this sinner of Klal Yisrael, he was touched. We'll talk about it more soon. So he refused to go in a second time because he started coming to his senses to see that it's not for one to enter the holy Beis HaMikdash. Me asuloi, what did they do to him? These Sainim of Klal Yisrael, who wanted to destroy the Beis HaMikdash. What did they do to him? They tortured him. They tortured him terribly. And he started screaming. Do you think he was screaming because of the pain of the torture? He was screaming because he said, Oili shehechasti lebeiri. He was screaming, what did I do? I made my God angry. This is the Chazal. And we'll just go back and try to analyze a few points. But here we see somebody who was totally down the totem pole. No spirituality, zero spirituality. Even the Sonim of Klal Yisrael, those who came to destroy the Beis HaMikdash, didn't have the chutzpah to enter into the Beis HaMikdash. No, let's get a Jew to do it first. And he was ready to do it. That's how deep down, that's how down the totem pole of spirituality he was. They were afraid to go in, and he boldly walked in. And even when he took out the menorah of gold, he did not even feel what the enemies felt. He wanted to keep it. And the enemies said, no, you can't keep such a thing. You're only a simple person. You have no right to the holy menorah. Even they felt it. They felt the right thing. And his heart was not in the right place, Yossi Mishita. He was too low. But when they brought it up to him, and they said to him, it's not the derech of a simple person to use, it got him thinking. It aroused him. It inspired him. And he realized how low he is, how bare he is spiritually. And he realized that he's down the totem pole. Even the Sonim of Klal Yisrael were better than him. And he started realizing how terribly wrong he was. And he said, it's enough that I made my Creator angry one time. When they wanted him to go in a second time, he started realizing that he shouldn't be doing this. And even when they afflicted him with terrible, terrible torture, and he started to scream, they wanted him to go in another time. He wouldn't go in. He wouldn't go in because now he started seeing where he really is at. And even when he screamed now at all the terrible afflictions, he didn't scream because he was being afflicted and he was being tortured. He screamed because he said, Oy vey li shehechasti es beiri. How terrible it is that I made my God angry. We see here a vivid portrayal of how a person could be so low, so spiritually low, and how he could snap back, he could come back and do tshuva. Slowly, step by step, he started seeing the light. A person should never say, I'm too far gone. I'm too far gone. Hashem doesn't even want me anymore. Never say that. Hashem will be waiting for you to return. Every person has that ability in him to see the light and to return to Hashem. And this is what Yitzchak Avinu saw. Vayorach es reach boigdov, Chazal interpret. He saw the traitors of Klal Yisrael, the sinners, how they brought themselves back to tshuva. Tshuva works, and Everybody has the ability to do tshuva, no matter how far gone you are. The Eibishter should help. We should be zeicha to realize this and to do tshuva, because that's the main thing to be a good yid. That's the main thing that we're living for. We should be zeicha to this. Amen v'amen.